Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. Make sure you go check out my TikTok, my Facebook, my Instagram. Like, share, subscribe if you can over there. Invite others to the channel. If you would like to leave a donation on this channel, you could do that, or any of my channels, you could do that on my Cash App or my PayPal. If you need any help with your personal life, email me. Please do not come to my channel with any negativity. All right, anything of the dark. I am a light worker. I'm a star seed. I am an angelic being. For those of you that don't know me, welcome to my channel. My name is Stephanie Cardenas. I am a high priestess, a prophetess, here to help humanity, here to help to create a new world. All right. I thank all of you already that like, share, and subscribe and follow me. All right. And I'm glad to be here. Okay. Today I'm going to do a video because God was just telling me that I need to do this video, okay? It's going to be a little bit hard, but it's the truth of my life and what has happened and what's going on. So, it's probably since 2018, I think, that I awakened, all right, and realized everything that was going on and everything that I am, because I have forgot myself for a while. And in that, I started looking around and seeing a lot of people that they were not who I thought they were. I started seeing their true colors. It was, family, it was friends, it was just everything, and I even realized that, I was working so hard for a little bit of nothing when I deserve a lot more. Many of us do. We work hard and we deserve a lot more than what we work for. We're not, and you're not appreciated. That you realize, wow, I'm working hard. I'm not appreciated. I'm around people that I do anything for. I give them my last if I had to. But those same people that we thought that had our back, we thought that they would do everything the same we would do for them, they didn't. Those were my very own people that were wishing my downfall. Those were people that knew and who I really was and couldn't appreciate the good in me, the light in me, and that hurt a lot. So I had to segregate myself, and God separated me, even at a time that I had nothing, because the enemy tried to take everything from me and keep me down, at rock bottom, which I had already been at rock bottom a few times already, and I always build myself up and always get out of it. But this time was a little different, and I had to separate myself and go to stay in a motel. And I asked my ex-husband, please help me. Help me, help me, help me. I don't feel right in my family's house. I don't feel right around anyone. And he was like, well, he thought I wanted to stay with him and to get with him. I'm like, no, I don't, not to be mean. I don't want to be with you like that. And I don't want to stay with you either. I need my own space. I'm like, something's not right. I need to think. I'm begging you and I'm asking you to help me. So he helped me, and I stood in that motel, and I, just started thinking and thinking and writing and writing. It was like God was making me write music. God was making me write poems. God was making me see things in a different light. He kept showing me too the same picture of this person. Like as a child, I saw him. As an adult, I saw him, and I already knew. I'm like, okay, this is my twin. You're putting this person in my life for a reason, And I started realizing, okay, me and this individual, we have something in common. We have something, I don't know, something that we have to do. So anyways, as I was in that motel, I started, I didn't have much, but I'm not a person that always needed a lot. I ate what I could. If my husband gave me a little 20, 30, I made a stretch. I did what I had to. Even with my grandkids, sometimes their mother wanted them to come and stay. And I'm like, well, I'm over here. And they would still bring them and I would make the most of it. I didn't have a lot, but I took them to the park. I would take them to McDonald's. Even if I only could buy them and not me, I would do that. So I had to learn how to survive. I learned how to appreciate things. When I would walk outside, I would see things different. Like I saw the air different, the trees different. Everything was just different, I guess, because I was working so hard, all my life, trying to survive from job to job, many jobs, and never, and then going home and still having to work, because a woman has to do that, right? You have to cook, you have to take care of your kids, take care of your grandkids, and wash, clean, and whatever. It's like you never stop. So I never had time to look around. I never had time for myself, because I was always being there for everybody else and not for me. And that's when I started awakening, and it was my dad, the cemetery where my dad and my family were was not that far. I even walked over there, because I was hurting inside and I needed something. And I was looking for something from my family, the ones that I knew loved me, the ones that didn't judge me. They loved me unconditionally because God had already took them from me. So I went and I prayed over there and I did what I had to do. And I told my dad, help me, please help me. I need you. And as I prayed to him, I prayed to God to help me. And when I was done there, a man came out of nowhere. He drove up because it was so hot that day. And I had a sweater and I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to make it back to the hotel? Because I was sick too. I have a bad back, spine. I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to make it back? It's hot outside. So a man comes in a little car. It was a real old man. And it was weird. I'm like, okay, I know God sent him. There's no other way this man's going to pull up on me. So as I'm walking and he looks at me and he's like, do you need a ride? And I'm like, well, yeah. I'm like, but I usually don't go with strangers. I'm like, but how do I, I'm like, I don't know. He's like, no, I'm not like that or nothing. Believe me. I'm meant to take you home. I'm meant to take you back. So I got in the car with him and I just prayed to God that he was going to take me to where I needed to go, and he did. And as we were talking a little bit, I knew he was like an angel, or he could have been God, or he could have been anything, because the way he was talking and the things that he was saying. And I just told him, thank you. Thank you for taking me. I appreciate it. I said, go with your angels, God bless you. So I went to my room and I got out of that motel and I don't know, maybe after that I still with family too and other family again, and I couldn't be around my family. I tried certain family and I couldn't. I was even like sleeping in my car because I couldn't be around people no more. Things weren't the same. I didn't feel comfortable. It was more comfortable for me to be in my car sleeping than to be around my family, and I know they probably were even freaking out, but it's just the way it was. So anyways, I had to call my son and I told him I'm tired. I can't do this. These people don't. He's like, well, you got to come home. So I came home, because my older son told me to come home over here because I was going through so much. The devil was attacking me in so many ways. But as the devil was attacking me, God was showing me a lot of things. I'm over here fighting the enemy and God. It's like God's talking to me, the enemy is attacking me. And boom, boom, a spiritual battle going on. So when I came home, I came to stay or whatever, and tried to mend things because I had issues with my youngest son, and my older son was just, in his own world too. But I was sick. I was going through a lot, and there was a lot of, distractions because the devil tried to use my young son too with all his pain that he had to attack me, for me and him to argue, for me and him not to get along. And I would, he would kick me out and I would go to my older son's house, and I would come back home over here because my older son was like, he always tried to help us to get along, to mend things. My older son, he was like me. He's like the good-hearted person, tried to mend everything. He didn't like to see fighting and nonsense. So every time I would go back and forth, but I got tired. You get tired of people throwing you out, all my life. You get tired. As a child, I got tired of my own mother, sending me here, sending me there, doing this to me, doing that to me, and not understanding me, not loving me. That hurts a lot inside. And there was times I would go in my car and I'd just stay by the park and just stay there and just think about everything, think about everything, think about my life, think about what's going on. Why is all this happening to me, God? Why am I sick? Why do I have to go through this, God? I've been doing so much all my life. Like, I'm not a bad person. Yes, I have done bad things because I'm like any other person, but never to intentionally hurt anybody, never to purposely hurt anybody or steal or hurt or kill or none of that stuff. So anyways, there was a lot of back and forth, and I just kept feeling like I'm going through issues with the spiritual battle. I'm thinking about my twin because now I know that God's putting these individual people. And right now I'm not going to talk about that. That's a whole nother video. But about these people, and then I started really realizing I was being attacked by, dark magic, black, even though I don't believe in it, but people were attacking me, and I was feeling it. And my telepathic communication started kicking in. So I could hear. And not only could I hear, I've had this gift since I was born. Many people in this world know who I was. They know who I am. They know my gifts, So anyways, as I was being attacked or whatever, me and my son, we probably had got into it again. And I ended up going to my older son's house, And he's like, Mom, you could stay here. He tried to take good care of me the best that he could, but I just wasn't comfortable there, And when you're not comfortable, you're just not comfortable. It wasn't him. It was just I wasn't comfortable. Maybe, I don't know. I can't tell you. He lived a different lifestyle than I was trying to live, And I started getting money, and money came, and I'm like, I'm going to go get my own apartment. Well, I never knew that I was going to get an apartment where I was going to get it at. I was just so desperate to have my own peace, to have my own place, to be by myself, so I could think, so I could get myself together, So when I got the place, I never really went to go look. I just said, okay, I paid on over the phone and and just went over there. And then my son's like, oh my God, Mom, why you move over here? This is a bad area. This is a bad place. And I just looked at him. Well, I didn't know. I'm like, I didn't know. I just wanted to get my own place. And I go, anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be outside around these people. I'm going to be inside my own space. I'm not worried about who's around me. They don't get, he didn't get that part. But I understood what he was saying, But, I come from Chicago. Like, I'm not worried about bad people. That doesn't affect somebody like me, So, it's like, whatever. I got the apartment. I stood there, yeah. So, I started doing my my cards. Well, when I was staying with my younger son before this, though, that's when I realized, when I started saying that I realized people were attacking me. That's when God was showing me like to read cards, like, oh my God, like, and then it was like he was talking to me. He's like, yeah, you could do it, but like, you start slow, you start with the angel cards, okay? Because he wanted me, you had to learn. And so I started buying the cards, the angel cards, and doing this and that. So then I started buying a lot of cards because I started studying and looking into it. And then it was like, I realized it was my calling, like a part of my calling, since I already knew I was like a medium and psychic. I knew intuitive since I was born, like, okay, this goes together with this. This is why he wants me to do this. So then I started doing the cards. I started doing everything, the things. And when I was in my apartment that I got, I started doing the cards, and I started feeling attacked. I started feeling like all type of, it was good and bad because I did have my own peace or whatever, but it was like the enemy was putting all type of like bad people around me, And then I even started seeing like people that I knew already. They didn't know that I knew them, but I knew who they were. So I'm talking about people that were trying to bring me down, people that were trying to hurt me, people that the enemy was trying to send to attack me, which they thought I didn't know, but I knew. I would tell my kids, I see this person next door, I see this and that, and they wouldn't say nothing. Whether, who knows what, who knows who doesn't know what, but I knew what I needed to know. So I started telling God, I'm trying to be in peace. I'm trying to live my life. You better remove these people from around here, because what I'm capable of doing, I don't want to have to do to anybody. But I started realizing these people are around there watching me, and I just felt a real heavy, dark presence, and weird people would come to my door and knock on my door. And it's like, oh, well, this one guy, oh, I just got out of jail. I'm a GD. Da, da, da. He's telling me he's a GD. Like, that matters to me. I'm like, okay, and so what? Like, he act like he was looking for somebody else, but yet you're at my door talking to me. So anyways, and then there was like another lady that lived next door to me, and then there was another lady that I saw next door that looked like somebody else, and that I had knew that I was feeling for a while already, and I'm like, and I know she knows that I saw her in that apartment because I looked at her and I was in my car and she closed that curtain. So she knew that I knew that who she was, okay? She knew already that I knew who she was. So after that, I called the building for the manager and I told her, if there's any people that are around here, around me, that are bad and you know about it, or you let anybody in my apartment, I want you to know that you're responsible just as much as they are. And she's, oh, well, I'm just letting you know that you have to call the police or whatever. I said, no, I'm letting you know. Don't worry about if I call the police or what I do. I'm letting you know. Whether and she probably, I mean, she could have known, she could have not known, but I feel like they did. You know what I mean? It was just weird things. Weird things were happening, and then my apartment flooded and all type of stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, weird stuff. And then when my apartment flooded, I ended up going to a motel, and it was even crazier because my gifts were getting even stronger. So I'm sitting on the balcony smoking a cigarette, and all of a sudden I see like this big Tusami, and I'm wide awake sitting on the balcony of this motel, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, I get this vision, and I see this Tusami and all these people, they're running, trying to run, and they're screaming and they're crying, and I'm like, I feel like I'm in it, and like I want to save everybody, but I can't, because it's a vision. I'm like trying to go here, there. What do I do? What do I do? And I'm like, okay, damn. I'm like, this is, and I put it on some of the weather channels, like, something's going to happen somewhere. Like, pay attention, pay attention. Something's coming, something's coming. I don't know if this happened already or it's going to come pretty soon. But I had a vision, okay? And this was like a year ago already, I think. Yeah, over a year ago. So those were some of the things I was going through, besides realizing that I was being stalked. I'm being stalked by people, bad people that thought I didn't know they were stalking me, but I knew that they were watching me because I felt it in my heart, in my intuition. And then certain faces I would see, I knew. Okay, I'm not stupid. When you're a medium and you're a psychic, you know. But see, the people, like my young son says, Mommy, everybody don't understand this type of thing. They don't understand this. And he's right. So anyways, I'm going to get to the part I'm trying to get to because I don't want to be on here too long. I got to go. So my son called me one day, my older son, and he says, Mom, come on. I said, what? He says, get ready. I said, for what? I don't want to go nowhere. He goes, oh, you forgot it's your granddaughter's birthday. I go, oh, okay. I go, okay, wait, I'm going to get dressed. Da, da, da. So he came to pick me up. Well, he really hated coming over there because he said it's a bad area. He hated coming. He would just rush me all the time. So I went with him. We went to go get some Portillo's. Then we went to the stores to get my granddaughter her stuff. And Then we took her home because she wanted to go home, and he went to his house, I mean, to pick up his girlfriend, the girl he was with. And then me, him, and his son, he took his son home, and then he was taking me home. Well, when he was taking me home, he kept like looking in the mirror. You know, when people do that shit, I'm like from Chicago, so I'm always on my shit. I'm always looking around because that's just me. And I'm like, thinking to him, I'm like, why you keep looking in the mirror for? He's like, you know, and while he's looking in his, I'm looking in mine. But I didn't really see nothing or whatever. So I had told him earlier, I'm like, I wanted to go to the store to get me a little can of like the little wine 99-cent things or whatever. So he's like, oh mom, I forgot you wanted the can, the wine, whatever. And then he's like, well, let's go in the gas station. So when he turned in the gas station, I was like, something came over me. I screamed real loud. I was like, no, like, but loud, like it freaked me out because I don't know where it came from, and it freaked him out. And then I felt bad because I scared him. And I'm like, okay. I go, I don't think they got it in there, but I'm just going to go check because I knew he took the time to take me there. And when people do something nice for me, I want to at least, you know, do it. You know what I'm saying? So I went and opened the door, and I was like, okay, I get out. I see this brown truck, all right? It's in front of our car. Like, we're straight, and they're in front of us sideways. I didn't pay attention to nothing about it. You know, I go into the store. Well, I didn't go in. I went to the door, opened the door, and I just looked up because all the signs are there, what they got. And I walk right back to the car, slowly, not paying attention to nothing, but realizing, you know, I get in the car in the passenger seat, and I see that brown truck is there sideways. So I told him, I told you they don't have it. I go, but anyways, you don't need to go get it. I don't need it that bad. It's not that serious to have it. Just take me home. It's okay. I go home already, you know. So he starts to pull off. He's like looking at his phone or whatever, and I don't know what he was doing. So then he gets ready to pull off. Well, this brown truck is there, and they move. Well, he's going, and the brown truck goes at the same time. So I told Corey, stop. So he stops, and then the car stops, and it's like they just stood there for a while. And I'm like, okay, they're looking at us, you know, not thinking nothing. I'm like, and they just whatever. So as after they stopped and just stood there and looked at us for a while, then they pulled up a little bit, and then out of nowhere, I just heard like this shatter, like, psh, and it's like the window shattered or something, and I'm like, it happened so fast, I didn't think of nothing, and we both turn around and we both look at each other. It's like I'm looking at him up and down, he's looking at me up and down. And I'm like, Corey, are you shot? Did it hit you? He's like, I'm like, and I'm talking to him. He's not, he's just looking at me, and he looks at the people at the car, and he's just like looking at them like with rage, like with anger, like he's pissed, and I'm like, Corey, are you shot? And his foot was already on the brake pedal, and the car was not in park, so he just takes off, and I'm trying to talk to his ass, like, are you fucking shot? Can you please talk to me? And then he ain't saying, so it's just like all of a sudden he turns blue and his head goes back, and it's like, oh my God, I'm crying. I'm like, oh my God, Corey, and I'm trying to help my son. I'm trying to help my son. And I'm trying to control the car because I didn't know what to do first, but I needed to help him. So I wasn't, you know, the first thing that comes to my mind, because he had his fucking foot on the pedal, he's going like a little bit fast, and he's big. He's a big guy. Like, his weight on the pedal's heavy. But I didn't think to just put the car in park and just let the whole car fly back. You know, I'm like, oh my God. I was like freaking out too, you know? And I'm like, I gotta crash into something else. I'm like, I'm gonna have to, not into a house. I don't want to hurt nobody else. I don't want to. So I see this spot, and I'm like, fuck it. We're going into this fence right here, and we're gonna go into this fence, and that's where we're going. And I turned the wheel, and we went into the fence, and we went a little bit through the garage, I guess, or whatever, and we just hit, and I hit my head so hard that when I woke up, I guess I was out for a few minutes, and I look, and I just see him blue, and his head's nodding, and I'm like, Corey, and I'm holding him, and I'm trying to hold him, and please don't go to sleep. Don't go to sleep, please. I'm like, you can't go to sleep. I'm like, you have to listen to my voice, please. And I look around and I'm trying to see if anybody's doing anything, and my door wouldn't open, and this guy was looking at me, and I told him, don't just look at me, help me, open the fucking door. I need to get out of here. Help me so I can help my son. He's been shot. I don't want nothing to happen to my child. And the guy couldn't open the door. I go, please try harder. You're not trying hard. Open the door, because the car was all smushed. And he finally opened the door. And when he opened the door, I could barely walk, and I went around. But by then, a policeman was running, and I don't even know where he came from. And there was a lot of people just watching, but they didn't do anything. And I was going around to get my son out. And the policeman tells me, no, you go over there. Let me do it. Let me do it. And I told him, no, I don't want you to do it. I don't want you touching him. And he goes, please, ma'am, let me do what I have to do. So he took him out. He couldn't even barely get my son out because he was so big. And he finally, after a while, struggling with him, got him out. But you don't realize there was too much time in between. They take forever to come. They took too long. They take forever to do everything in this world. And he's trying to do what he had to do. Then the ambulance come and they do what they have to do. And I don't know, because I'm just looking around and trying to figure everything out, because I hit my head so hard and everything just freaked me out. And they put him in the ambulance, and I'm looking around like, damn, they left and the cars crashed, and I'm looking at all these police, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you people? Do you realize I was in the car? That is my son. They didn't know, but I go, that is my son. I am his mother. How dare you leave and take my child and don't take me with him? What the fuck is wrong with you people? You have no heart. You have no understanding. You don't even think before you act. And every policeman around there, I heard, I'll take you, I'll take you, I'll take you. Now everybody wants to take me all of a sudden, because I have to open my fucking mouth and say something. How dare you? And I said, I don't care who takes me, but just fucking take me to my son, please. And when they took me, the cop was trying to talk to me in the car. He was a nice guy. I guess I went with the right one, you know. I said, please, before you take me over there, can you take me to get a cigarette, packs of cigarettes? Because I will not be able to handle all this. It's too much for me. I'm stressed. And he goes, yes, ma'am, just calm down, please, before you get sick. And, you know, you got to get checked in the hospital, too, because, you know, you're messed up. I had cuts. I had glass in my feet and my hands all over. I didn't care, though. I didn't care about that. My son is shot. I don't give a damn what happens to me. That's what people don't get. I wish it was me and not him. But I knew for sure that that bullet was meant for me. And I told these police when they asked me, you may not understand the spiritual battle about what's going on in this world, but I'm letting you know today that that bullet was meant for me. And he said, why? I said, because I am chosen by God, because I am gifted and I am here. I am not a human being. I'm an angelic being here to help humanity and here to help a new world. And I don't know if you even have the wisdom and the knowledge to understand where I am coming from, but I am letting you know this is what's happening. I smoked my cigarette and they told me, The cops, like, I hear him talking on his thing while I'm smoking. He's sitting with me. He's a nice guy standing with me talking to me. But he goes, oh, they say your son's over there. There's people and they're getting a little rowdy or whatever. I go, oh, okay, that's my son. Let me go. Let me go because he gets a little crazy, honey, for the people he loves. He ain't a bad guy, but... So I go or whatever, I see them, but nobody's, by now, everybody's calm. Well, not calm, they're just outside waiting, and they take me inside and sit me in a room, and everybody's talking to me, and the chaplain comes, and the chaplain's talking to me and trying to calm me down, and I'm sorry that this happened to you, and, nobody deserves this, and I'm just listening to her, because she's supposed to be a woman of God, and she's just comforting me. And I'm like, I don't even know her, And she was keeping me calm because I kept saying, I want to know what's going on with my son. What are you doing? So people kept coming in and the police kept coming in, and I talked to them and I told them what I just told you, that I am chosen by God, that hit probably was for me, but it could have been for my son, either or. I'm like, it could have been for him or it could have been for me, He's well known, but I'm gifted by God. And I go, but honestly, you're asking me, and I feel like that bullet was meant for me. It was on my side. They had the whole opportunity to shoot my son. He was sitting in the car the whole time. That bullet was not meant for my child. That bullet was meant for me. If they wanted to kill him, they would have did it a long time ago, because he was sitting in the car the whole time. And I still believe that to this day, unless somebody proves me wrong and says that it was for him. Maybe it was. Maybe people are jealous. I don't know, but we'll find out. But I strongly believe that was for me, So anyways, they come in and they tell me, well, your son, we're sorry, we did everything we could. And I looked at them, I said, you did everything you could. I go, get out of here. Go do your job. Look at how many of you there are. You didn't help my son. And I got angry. I was mad. I started crying. And I had to go outside and tell everybody, his girlfriend, his kid's mother, all his friends, that he didn't make it or whatever. And then I was outside trying to keep everybody calm and and there was some other police that came from out of nowhere, and they're talking to everybody, asking them questions like they always do, And I just went back inside, and then they said we could go see my son, and I had to look at my son and his face, he's looking at me, and I don't know, it's like I was so angry and hurt inside, but it's like something, I kept looking at him, and I'm like, you don't look like you're dead. I'm thinking this in my face, like his eyes. I'm like, he's looking at me like, Mommy, I'm not dead, Mom. And I didn't feel like my child was dead, but he was still laying there. So how could he be alive, God? And that was the hardest day of my life, because my kids are everything to me. They are. I would go to the ends of the world for my children. I would do anything for them. I would give them my last, and they know that. And that child that they took from me I almost lost my son when I had him, when God gave him to me. And we both almost died on the table together. But God saved us the day He gave me that boy. God saved us when I thought we were both going to be dead. God saved his life. And I made this video because I know a lot of people in this world, loved ones of ours, have been shot and killed unjustly. Many people go around this world killing each other, hurting each other, shooting at each other, doing things that are horrible. Until this day, I still can't understand it. But it happens. and people get hurt. You hurt people. You hurt people's families. You know, I understand that there's times that we have to protect ourselves, and sometimes you have to do things that you have to do. It's either you or them. But these random acts of gunfire, they shouldn't be happening. I'm pretty sure those people that shot at us and killed my son, they wouldn't want their family killed or shot. I can be almost 100% sure of that. So why would you do it to somebody else? And honestly, I feel that was a hit. They were paid to hit the car, okay? That was a hit, man. That was a one shot, okay? That was one shot. So that was somebody that knew what they were doing. They thought they knew what they were doing, okay? Because if it was a street person, I know because I'm from the streets, they would have kept shooting at the car. Not just one time. They would have shot it up. They didn't do that. So whoever did that shot that car one time and thought that they were going to make a hit and didn't. Because that bullet ricocheted my stomach. I left marks on my gut when it ricocheted and went into my child. In his side, hit his heart or whatever it did. And the problem was never went through his body. It stayed stuck in there, they said. And I'm talking to you today because I have to walk with this. It's been almost 11 months, I think, since August. It's been a while, but it feels like it was yesterday for me. Many people, when they saw me after this happened, oh, you look different. You look like, you know, you have a light about you. You look ascended. And I'm just like, okay. I wasn't, you know, I don't paying attention to nothing like that because my mind and my focus is on what happened that day. Asking God, why you do that to me? You told me you were going to protect me and mine. You told me if I did what you said and I came here to do what I needed to do, you were going to take care of me and my family. And you broke your promise to me. You took my son. I realized that we all have to die. That I understand. But not like that. Not like that. Nobody deserves to be shot and killed. Not like that. That's not right. And I was angry with God. And I told him, I'm angry with you because I don't hide nothing from God, just like I don't hide nothing from nobody in this world. I am a woman that speaks her mind and her truth, and I don't hide how I feel from anyone or anything. I said, I'm angry. I'm angry because you could have took me. I'm old already. I live my life. I'm already going to be 50. Why couldn't you take me instead? And as I sat and I thought and I could hear my son talking to me telepathically like, Mom, it's okay. I'm okay, Mom. It's okay, Mom. And I was watching certain things and I felt bad because the things were saying sometimes you have to let the loved ones go, you know. You just have to know that everything's going to be okay. And I don't want him to think if if he's gone or whatever and dead, like that I'm trying to hold him here. I'm not doing that on purpose. I just love him. And I miss him. Everything I see, everything I look at, everywhere I go. I miss my child. He is my son, just like the other two. I have 3. It's hard. And I just want to say, I'm out here talking because I need to get it out too. Not that it's going to make a difference, but maybe it will a little bit. And this is what I'm going through. This is just one of my battles, okay? This is a real life thing. It's a spiritual battle. Many of you don't even realize what I go through for all of you. All the pain, the suffering, the spiritual battle. I'm losing and I've lost so many people I love in the last year. No matter if they did good or bad, that doesn't matter to me, but I love them. I love them unconditionally. I don't care what they thought be in the back of their mind or who they were or the bad they did, but I love them. And they're good and they're bad. And if they did anything or wish bad on me, they're always going to know that I love them unconditionally and they're good and they're bad. And it's just hard. It's hard. It's hard for me, and I have to try to get through this, and I pray every day that whatever has happened to my son and to me in this spiritual battle that I am going through, that it works itself out. And I know that I have a lot of ancestors, a lot of good family watching over me. And I thank them every day. My angels, my ancestors, God, because they are truly helping me in this spiritual battle. Because there are days that I don't want to get up. There are days that I don't want to fight. I'm tired of fighting and fighting. I just want to live my life and be happy and be at peace. All my life I have had to fight and struggle and go through so much pain. People want to be me so bad they want this spot, but they don't even realize the pain that comes with it. It's a lot of pain. It's a lot of problems. It's a lot of things that you have to go through. And if you're not strong enough, then you won't even make it. There's days that I can't even think straight. There's days that I can't even think straight. But I just want to say to any other people out there that your child or somebody you love has been shot, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, because I know what that pain feels like, and it's not a good pain. And for me, I had to be right in the car with him and see it, and that makes it even harder. To be a mother and to see her child taken. Nobody can understand that feeling. You know, everybody just has their own opinion. Many people were trying to say it's my fault because I lived over there, whatever. Well, I lived in Chicago. It could have happened in Chicago. So what is it any difference if I lived there or I lived in Chicago? Because everything like this happens in Chicago. And my kids were always in my house in Chicago. You know, but people are always going to talk. People are always going to judge. People are always going to say something and they don't even know. You don't know. So don't assume. Don't think that you know something when you don't. That's people's problem. They want to think and judge. Just sit your ass still and think about things. Maybe you will understand what's really going on one day if you think about it long enough. But anyways, I just wanted to make that video. It's already 42 minutes. And I just want to say, you know, for anybody, like I said, that your child or somebody you love has been shot, I'm sorry. And in this world, we need to stop shooting and hurting innocent people and people that don't deserve it. You know, I know everybody's meant to go a certain way, but it shouldn't be that way. And I'm going to make sure in the new world that is created that it will never happen like that. That nobody will have to go through ugly things like that. It might take a long time for this to come true, but it's going to happen in the new world. Those that do what they are called to do and are worthy of God and worthy of being good and trying to help this world and better this world, we will live in a world that is in peace, love, and harmony. You might not be able to see it now, but you will one day. Even when I am dead and gone, many of you will remember me and who I am and the battles and the wars that I have fought for you in this world and other dimensions, because there are many battles that I have fought for humanity, and I need you to understand that today. There are many bad people and beings that come against me on a daily basis. There are battles that I am fighting that many of you would not even understand. Don't let this body fool you. Anyways, thank you for being here, and I hope that this helps somebody. I hope that this helps somebody and that we learn how to be a people that can talk to each other and have understanding and be there for each other, because I feel so alone. I feel alone, and it's like I'm searching for somebody. Who can I find to talk to? Who can I trust when there's so many enemies around me? Show me, God, who I can lay my burdens on. But I talk to God a lot because I know I can trust God. I know I can trust my angels. I know I can talk to my ancestors, the one that loved me unconditionally. But who can I talk to in this world? A live being that I can pour my heart out to and they can truly help me. Please show me those people, God. Please bring me to my soul family, the ones that are like me, like-minded like me, that are of the 144,000 that are here to help humanity. Please bring me to them, God. I feel so alone and I shouldn't feel that way. But I know the enemy has tried to segregate me too, and I'm not a fool. And I also realize I'm going in a different direction. So a lot of people can't go where I'm going. They have to love me from a distance and allow me to move forward because it is my calling. And if they love me with all their heart, they're going to understand that I have a calling to help humanity, to help this world. Don't try to stop me. Don't try to keep me stuck or stagnant or hold me to you, because I have to be free. I have to go where God calls me to go. Anyways, I love all of you. And the ones that hear this, thank you for being here. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.